You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel.
I am Clint. Hey, Auburn fan, welcome. Oh,
no, they're not here. It's all quiet.
All quiet on the Western Front. Hey, Dog fans, how you all doing?
How you guys doing?
Here, Kentucky fan ain't here because they don't know
Big
how to
Blue
work
Nation. Big Blue Nation. Let's do this. John Calipari, welcome to the podcast.
If only. Hey, we're glad you are here on Monday after a big, incredible, audacious weekend, y'all. Hey,
use more words.
Daniel, cheers to you. Cheers to you, kind sir.
Cheers.
And all of you, Dog Nation. If you're joining us on YouTube or on the podcast on audio, we're glad you're here. Daniel and I are fans, first and foremost, not gurus or insiders by any stretch of the imagination. We are fans.
We're no siders, just to be honest. We're not any siders.
Look, I got all the sides to me.
Cheers to you, by the way. Cheers to you.
Glad you
raises a glass and then botches a word within the first 10 seconds of the podcast.
Glad you're here with us.
Listen.
We are fans. We don't take ourselves too seriously nor each other. So have some fun on this podcast with us. We are in the feels after this weekend, if you couldn't tell.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Audio on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe on that audio channel. Leave us a 5-star rating and review over there. Then head on over to the YouTube, Locked On Bulldogs on YouTube. Search for us and subscribe there. Hit that thumbs up on the video. Leave us a comment and let us know what you think about the show. All those things are helpful. Thank you to those of you. It's growing. To say that the podcast is growing is to say the Georgia defense is good. Clint, that's about the analogy that you could use.
Seems like it's underselling a little bit.
We're really grateful to all of you who are listening. If you're new, if today's your first day, just subscribe wherever you're at. Thanks for being here. As Clint said, we don't take ourselves too seriously. But if you're a fan of a college football team, preferably Georgia, or a team that Georgia's about to beat or has just recently beaten, welcome to the show. Thank you for listening or watching. You can email us lockedonbulldogs@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter @Dawgs Podcast. That's right down below me over here. And we got a lot to get to, Clint. And so we're not going to bury the lead any longer. We're going to jump into the content. We're going to talk about the Auburn game. We're going to talk about the Alabama Texas A&M game, Clint, because that was a thing that happened. And then we got guests coming up on the podcast this week.
This week is,
boy, it's a full slate. Okay, buckle up, click subscribe because we're going to be here all week. The guests begin tomorrow, so tune back in for that, and then should have another guest on Wednesday. We shall see. Okay, Clint. Some victories are 62-0. Some victories are dominant shutout wins versus a ranked SEC school like Arkansas.
Okay.
But some victories, Clint, just hit a little different. Don't they? Don't they?
Some are more significant than others, and this weekend hit different. By the way, Auburn, congratulations. You're number 2 on my most hated fan list from here on out. Tennessee is now number 3. Auburn and Jordan Hare, you've reached yourself up to number 2.
We haven't played Tennessee yet, Clint. Just wait. Just wait. They're coming, Clint.
Okay, that's actually
are
such a good point.
Yeah.
Such a good.
They're coming.
Look, this win hits different, and here's why it hit different. Let me go through the ways. Daniel, a couple questions for you. Were we at 100% no injury strength on this team?
I mean, the list of injuries is the list of injuries would go 8-4 on an SEC schedule. That's the list of injured players for Georgia.
Correct. Were we at home?
No.
Were we fighting against a defense that was lesser than or trash?
Not a trash defense at all, I wouldn't say.
Not at all. Was this a team that we weren't familiar with and weren't familiar with us and didn't have loads of tape on us and experience on us for decades?
Plenty of familiarity, except that Brian Harsin, I believe, still lives in Boise.
Oh.
So I'm not sure he's ever been to Georgia or seen Georgia or could identify Georgia on a map, given as that he is coaching remotely from Boise, Idaho right now.
That 100%. Look, this game was different. I want to take you, Daniel. We're going to get to a couple of other stats, but I want to take you to one profound. I was jumping up and down, smiling and giggling, and my children were with me. That last drive where we just said, hey, guess what we're going to do? We're going to impose ourselves. You're not going to stop us. You're going to call timeouts, Brian Harsin, which, by the way, you deserve that long shot, which turn around and catch the ball for a touchdown. Just look up in the sky. But I digress.
Man, oh man, Justin Robinson. Oh, if we had hung that late touchdown pass on them, this would have been the perfect weekend. That's the only thing stopping it, Justin Robinson, from being the perfect weekend.
Zamir White, look, I've apologized before, and it feels like I need to apologize to you every week.
We'll just do it again.
He's the best running back on this team. He's the best running back in the SEC. He's exceptional, and this team showed it. This was domination at its finest. We imposed ourselves in every single facet of the game. And no Auburn fan in our Twitter feed, no, it wasn't the drops you had on offense. Stop. It was not that. I guarantee you.
Let me just say a couple things.
Okay.
Thing number one. I was wrong. You were wrong. There was more than one occasion when we got our hands on Bo Nix. And gosh darn it, that
he slipped out.
Little grease monkey slipped out of there, as he is prone to do. He is an incredibly difficult guy to tackle. He is an incredibly elusive runner with the football. And he didn't make a ton of awful throws in this game.
No,
the interception,
3 or 4.
Not his fault. The interception, not his fault. I'm telling you, Bo Nix was fine in this game.
He was.
The Auburn wide receivers, hashtag D-Rob, hashtag talk to me again. So how many times do we say D-Rob? But the Auburn receivers were terrible in this game.
Awful.
I mean, terrible in this game. And so that was Auburn's problem. But now let me circle back.
There we go.
Because while Bo Nix was fine, was he the best quarterback on the field on Saturday, Clint?
No, sir.
No. What was his name?
His name was Stetson Madrigal Bennett the fourth.
The Quattro. Stetson Bennett the fourth came out here. Boy, does he like to play against Auburn, Clint. He just loves to play against Auburn. Was it a perfect game? No, it was not. But by golly, how fun is it to have Stetson Bennett on your team, Clint?
You said that Bo Nix was elusive and slippery like an eel, and I want to ask you: was he the most effective runner?
No.
On the field? No, he was not. Stetson Bennett,
not even close.
Just moxie. I know that word gets around, but just in your face, intimidation, and level of energy that's not like bro dude energy. But
you know what I love, Clint? You know what my favorite thing about Stetson Bennett was in this game? He wildly underthrew the first deep ball, didn't he? And we were both upset about it. We went ahead and scored a touchdown anyway. It didn't matter. It's fine. We were both a little bit like, underthrew that ball horrendously. But then he came back on that second deep shot, Clint, and did he underthrow that one? He hit that man in it felt like he learned something.
Hold on, Daniel.
We're gonna get there in the second.
Don't say that man. Use his
in the
name.
second segment. In the second segment, we're gonna get there. I have things to say, Clint.
Hey, we're going to come back after this, but first I want to let you know about Prize Picks. All right, college football fanatics, have you heard about Prize Picks? Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. Daniel has. He's been on the website. I've been on the website. Prize Pick is a leader in college sports daily fantasy. More college football props than anyone in the world. That's a pretty big place. It offers any prop you can think of, yardage to touchdowns, even interceptions thrown. All the users right now that go over there right now, all of you users who go over there right now at prizepicks.com, every last one of them that signs up for their initial deposit, promo code locked on, get 100% deposit match up to $100. Put $100 in, get 200. Fiddle around, mess around, sprinkle some on some props, get some money. You pick 2 to 5 players, play the over-under on their projection. You can do mixed sports entries. It's award-winning app as in the App Store as well as Google Play. Can be made in 60 seconds, those entries, and it's easy. Prize Picks is safe and offers fast withdrawals. Use promo code locked on. Go to the App Store or Google Play or prizepicks.com.
All right, Clint.
Yes.
May I?
You have the floor.
Okay. We haven't even talked about the defense yet, Clint. But I can't. I can't even
in a moment.
I can't talk about the defense yet. Because let me just tell you, Georgia fans, there's a difference between this Georgia team and other very good, very, very good. No. I'm talking about only the exceptional Georgia teams from the past.
Thank you.
Okay? 2017, 2002. Like these, I'm talking about 2005. I'm talking about the very, very good Georgia teams.
Okay.
2007. The difference, Clint, is not the defense.
Nope.
Okay. We've had elite defenses before. I'm not sure they've been this good. Okay. I hear you. Fine.
Okay.
I'm not sure they've been this good, but we've had elite defenses before. Shut you out, shut you down defenses before. The difference is not the quarterback play, Clint. Okay.
Nope.
We do not have a Heisman Trophy candidate back there slinging it around for the Georgia Bulldogs this season.
Not right now. We don't.
JT Daniels played well. Even when he comes back, he is not a Heisman Trophy candidate. Spoiler alert. He's not. This is not. We do not have a Heisman Trophy candidate on this team.
No.
The defense, or the difference is not the running backs, Clint.
Nope.
Zamir White, quite good. Kendall Milton showed me some things. James Cook.
I see you, James Cook, and you know what? I was wrong there too, bro. That's on me.
Cue the music. Let's just keep it rolling. The difference, though, is not the running backs. Obviously, 2017, other years past, Georgia's always had elite running backs. It's crystal clear to me, Clint.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is the weapons at receiver on this team. Now, let me ask you back to the injury front, Clint. George Pickens?
Out.
Jermaine Burton?
Out.
Tom Blaylock?
Out.
Marcus Roseme?
Out.
Okay, were those our top 4 receivers going into the year?
Arian Smith.
Oh, I'm sorry. Arian Smith? I forgot he was on the team. Clint?
Big O for up until this game.
Yeah. Out. This is all the weapons that you and I sat on here saying, do we have any dudes on this team, Clint? That's what we said. That's what you said. That's what I said.
Correct.
Do we have any dudes on this team? What if I told you, Clint, that 3 true freshmen, going to walk in here at the University of Georgia and just turn everything on its head, turn everything upside down, and give this team an offense, the likes of which we've not seen in quite some time, Clint?
I haven't seen it since being a fan of Georgia. Don't at me. Mecole Hardman, I get it. McKenzie, I get it. Not like we've had dudes that have played wide receiver, but not.
Brock Bowers got 20 catches for 315 and 4 touchdowns. That's Brock Bowers. Ladd McConkey's got 16 catches for 280 and 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
And A.D. Mitchell's got 11 catches for 167 and also 2 touchdowns, Clint. That is 8 touchdowns That is the vast majority of this team's receiving yards. With the exception of Jermaine Burton, I've just listed all the 100-plus yard receivers on the team. It's 3 freshmen, Clint. Who are these guys, and why is Georgia going to be good for so many years in the future?
Georgia's going to be so stinking good because the man that is pulling the strings on these unheralded, well, Brock Bowers was heralded, just not as much. People put him as a 4-star. Kirby said, that's a dude. He went in Ladd McConkey's backyard and said, I need him. Young Buck, how many
pull-up 3. He watched Ladd McConkey shoot a pull-up 3-pointer and said, I'll take him. And now Ladd McConkey's on here just...
How many SEC scholarships you've been offered? None? Cool. Let me be the first and only and come on down. I got you. I know you.
Make it 1. You could either go to Tulane or here. Okay. Which do you choose?
Ladd McConkey is a revelation at wide receiver. Okay? Revelation. That deep ball that Stetson threw to him, the beat on Auburn's DB, the stride for strides, straight line speed that he just said, I don't care. And the strength to keep his balance into the end zone after. Brock Bowers is, again, another revelation. A.D. Mitchell, oh my gosh, Daniel, the footwork on the goal line, that route.
Listen, I could watch. I know y'all going crazy about Ladd McConkey. I get it. I like Ladd McConkey. He's quite good.
He's quite good.
I know the national media has caught up to Brock Bowers. I get it. He's quite good. By the way, Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey combined for a seal on a run play. The two of them, 84 and 19. Ladd was blocking out, and Brock Bowers was blocking in to seal off the edge to give our running back a lane. Oh, it was the thing of beauty. Okay. But this kid, number 5, to me, Clint, he's the one. This is the kid that Georgia has not recruited yet. This is the kid. I know George Pickens is an all-world talent. He's a different type of player. This is a different type of player we're talking about. But this A.D. Mitchell is a technician. He is a go out here with a scalpel and just carve you up to the point that you don't even know you're bleeding at the end of it, and you look down and just everything everywhere down there. A.D. Mitchell he's a problem.
He's a silent assassin. He's a problem. A.D. Mitchell, I'm going to tell you, Daniel, y'all not going to like to hear this because George Pickens coming back. Y'all not going to like to hear this because Don Blaylock going to come back.
Sure.
Y'all not going to hear this because Kieris is back, and did he show us some things? He showed us flashes. I'll tell you this right now. A.D. Mitchell, don't sleep on him being the best wide receiver on this team by year's end. And I mean out of anybody.
Look. Tyke Smith came back, Clint. What'd Kirby say? He said he out there repping special teams. Have you seen Latavius Brini ball? Is what Kirby said. Kirby said, have you seen 36 play football?
Ask
me again where Tyke Smith is. Ask me again where he is. That's what we're going to be saying about some of these wide receivers, Clint.
Daniel, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about Alabama game because it has implications.
We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk. But first, I want to hit you with this. And all y'all out there, it's not you, Dog fan. You, Dog fan, know this. We know this. We have eyeballs. You're fine. We see this. Let me run down. I'm going to give you what we've held opponents to in each game on defense. Okay?
That sounds right.
Clemson, 3 points. UAB, 7 points. South Carolina, 13. Vanderbilt, goose egg. Arkansas, goose egg. Auburn, 10. I'm now going to read to you the average per game point production for those teams. Are you ready?
Oh, boy.
Clemson, 25.8. UAB, 27.8. South Carolina, 24.8. Vanderbilt, 20. Arkansas, 35.8. Auburn, 40.
Oh, no.
Don't talk to me about anything else besides that. Because that, my friends, is imposing yourself, taking away what the offense wants to do, and saying you will get nothing and you will like it. And what you're accustomed to, what you're normally averaging, what is normative to you, we're going to make unnatural to your whole scheme. And that's when you dominate teams. This defense is unworldly. It shouldn't happen in nature.
Will Levis, come on down. You're
What's up,
next. You're next. All
Okay,
right.
we're
We'll
gonna
be
get to
right.
Kentucky. I know I said I was nervous about Kentucky at the beginning of the season, Daniel. We'll get
Were
to
you?
production later because
Are you?
I was.
Are you? Okay.
No, sir.
Today's episode brought to you by the fine folks over at Built Bar. Built Bar is the tastiest protein bar on planet Earth. You know, and I know they come in a wide variety of delicious flavors. They are all absolutely fantastic. It's the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. Each and every flavor is high in protein, high in fiber, low in sugar, keto approved, good for whatever meal plan or diet you are on. A meal replacement, a pre-workout, post-workout supplement. If you need a little pick-me-up at the office, on your way to work, on your way home from work, Built Bar is for you. Go right now to BuiltBar.com and enter the promo code LOCKEDON15 for 15% off your order at BuiltBar.com right now. That's enter the promo code LOCKEDON15 for 15% off your order at BuiltBar.com.
Oh boy, the hits just kept on coming. CBS had a doubleheader.
It was two games. It was not just the one game. It's two games. Georgia fans, did we watch the second game? Did you watch the second game of that doubleheader?
I did, Daniel. And what I saw was
okay. Tell me that. Tell me now.
Glory to my eyes and ears. Look, we're going to get to. Daniel has a take on why this is most important, why the number one ranking is so huge. But let me just tell you this right now. We started this week by saying this is an inverted college football season. Okay.
Yep.
And yet some things have changed and some things haven't. Georgia's still good. Okay. We were good the last 3 years, the last 4 years, ever since Kirby has stepped on campus. We've been good. We've been in playoffs. But all of a sudden, Daniel, there's 1A and 1B. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're out of 1B territory, and we are ranked one for the first time in a lifetime. And we have been on this podcast. Daniel and I have said rankings do not matter. They don't matter.
Okay.
Please remember this.
Okay.
However, environments change. So the ranking itself, being number one and watching Alabama go down to Texas A&M and lose. Okay, great. Like we're one. But again, you have to understand the reason why and the context for it. And here's the context I want to talk about with Alabama.
Sure. Go for
it. This Bama team ain't nothing. Guys, I want to clue you in. This Bama team ain't nothing. Their defense don't want to hit. Their defense don't want to come with it. Their defense can't tackle. They cannot tackle. I watched one guy, an Alabama fan on Twitter, lose his gourd because he said the defense hasn't been the same since who left? Who was there?
You know what? I thought what he did is all he did was over condition the players so that it led to a bunch of injuries. That's what I've been told.
Kirby Smart.
Tua's weak knees are his fault, I think.
No, look, Kirby Smart left, and all of a sudden, Alabama defense ain't been the same since he left. And all of a sudden, you're seeing this inversion. You're seeing that all of a sudden, momentum and weight has shifted. Kirby is the top dog. He is the best head coach in the SEC. You heard me.
Sure.
All of you. The context of Alabama's not nothing. Texas A&M is nothing. Guys, they're not a good team. They had a spark. They had a spot. I get it. I understand. But if you look at this team, Alabama got exposed. Their offense is not good.
Offensive line is trash. Their defense is trash. That offensive line for Alabama, Clint, you know what? I honestly God hope they make the SEC championship game. I'm not convinced. I hope they make the SEC championship game because if we get to play this team, Clint, it is going to be feast for this Georgia defensive front.
We either have already played the best offensive line in the SEC or will this week. These two things.
In the scrimmage? In the practice, you mean? In practice?
Arkansas
we play the best offensive line in the SEC daily. At the old practice.
What did you see that Alabama game?
Now, listen. A couple things. Number one, we'll get to locks later in the week. The syndicate did give out Alabama -18, but somebody told you just get a little Might get a little bit of sprinkle on there. Okay. So hope you did. But let me say this. Georgia's had good teams before, Clint. Mm-hmm. But Georgia has never had this team before. And this is a weird year of college football, but we're the new Alabama. Like, this is the year that Alabama typically has in college football, and that's who we are. This game means everything, Georgia fans, for one reason and one reason only. And I had a feeling all week this was going to be a sneaky game for Alabama. It means everything for Georgia because the last thing you want is to have to beat Alabama twice to win the national championship. And that's the worst case scenario. You win the SEC championship game. Like we all thought, Georgia, Alabama, both undefeated, both teams going to make it. You win the game. Congratulations, Georgia. You've done it. You've gotten over the hump, Georgia. You're the number 1 seed, Georgia. And then you go and you win your first game in the college football playoff and the national championship game. Look who's there. Georgia fans, how are you feeling going into that game? How are you feeling going into that game? Let me just put your mind at ease. That scenario is now impossible.
Gone.
There are 2 scenarios now. Number 1, and each one gets sweeter than the last. Number 1, you go to the SEC championship game and you lose to Alabama. Alabama makes the playoff. Yep. Georgia also makes the playoff.
Yep.
And now you get a rematch with Alabama for all the marbles so that you can watch Alabama celebrate their SEC championship while you hang the national championship banner in Sanford Stadium. Or
that's option
scenario B, you can get with that, Clint, which is you beat Alabama and you knock that has-been program out of the college football playoff. And you force Nick Saban into early retirement and potential cardiac arrest, Clint. That's scenario B. Listen, Georgia fans, it's a good time to be a Georgia fan. We've got business to take care of, but listen.
Have to.
Let me end the show with this.
Okay.
This is for longtime listener Colin. This is for you. Georgia fans, look me in the eyes.
Do it.
There's no such thing as a curse. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a curse. This program is not cursed. Nope. This program is the best program in the country. Does that mean we're definitely going to win the national championship this year?
Nope.
No, it doesn't. But it does mean that we're better than every team we'll play for the rest of the year. Period. Regardless of scenario. Just soak it in,
let
Georgia
that
fans.
Wash over you.
You're a 24-point favorite against the number 11 team in the country, who's the only other undefeated SEC team who beat Florida. You're a 24-point favorite, Georgia fans.
Yes, sir.
For good reason. All right. We will be back tomorrow, and we won't be alone. We've got we got a special guest. What?
Yep, we're hosting.
Yeah, we're hosting. With the front door's been left open again. This time, it's not an Auburn fan walking in. Our man John from John Tweets Sports fame will be on the podcast tomorrow. He won't be tweeting about sports. I believe he's actually going to be speaking with his mouth. It's hard to say.
Yes. Daniel and I, T's and P's to Daniel and I, as we try to control this guy on here. It's going to be.
It could get ugly. He's going to have stats. I expect a spreadsheet will be pulled up in front of him, and it's just going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. And so join us tomorrow for that. We'll be talking more about this Auburn game. We'll probably get John's thoughts about Kentucky as well. So come back then, subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the audio podcast, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
See ya.